I state your name.
I, Brian Borland,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear faith.
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Military justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Hello, Yorktown Middle School. I'm Ryan Tucker, and I'm currently a sophomore or yearling at the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York. I went to Yorktown schools my entire life, from kindergarten through 12th grade, and some of you may know my sister and my cousin, Rachel and Kaylin, who are in 6th grade. I am currently training to be an officer in the United States Army. To me, service means giving up your own time and working hard to make a difference in the lives of others. So there are many ways you can do this, not just in the Army, but in the civilian world as well. To me, sacrifice means giving up what's most important to you in order to do something for someone else. So whether that's giving up time with your family in order to protect our country in the Army, or giving up your time to volunteer in your community, we all make sacrifices. The United States is the greatest country in the world because we have the freedom to choose to live our lives the way we wish. We have so many more opportunities than people in other countries around the world, and we can choose to live our lives without fear of being punished for being different. That is why the United States is the greatest country in the world.
My name is Jeff Johnson, and I'm retired Air Force, 21 years, and this is for the Yorktown Middle School for Veterans Day. I was a command post controller, emergency actions controller, combat controller. And you want to know what my purpose was. My family's military, my dad is, my brother is, and I just kind of followed suit at the time, not knowing what I wanted to do. But as I matured, and the more I was in the Air Force, the more I could understand what the problems were with the country and around the world. And that's why you dedicate yourself to help protect the population of the United States and other people that can't protect themselves. As far as Veterans Day, I believe that Veteran Day belongs to the ones that had the ultimate sacrifice that never came back, or the ones that came back, only part of them came back. They're the ones that should be honored on Veterans Day, not the ones that came through okay. But as far as the sacrifices that I gave, other than family separation and being gone for a year at a time and different things like that, life is always complicated, but it's more complicated for the others. So my oath to enter the Air Force was to defend the Constitution from enemies from within and outside the United States, and it's becoming more complicated today, but that's what I think everybody should think about, is the vets that never came back or have been injured, and how is our Constitution holding up today. Thank you.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Hey, thanks a lot for talking to us for Veterans Day.
That's not a problem.
So you wrote something for us, right?
I did.
So go ahead and start with that.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, Yorktown Middle School, and happy Veterans Day. My name is Corporal Madison Bischoff, and I am currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. I am from Anderson, Indiana, and my job in the Marines is a combat engineer. My mother and father are both veterans who served in the United States Navy. My mother has asked me to make a video to show you all about the significance of Veterans Day and what it means to me. However, I tend to get emotional when I talk about stuff like this, so I'll try to keep a level head. Um, 4 things that people who are serving and who have served hold near and dear to their heart are the sacrifices they make, why they chose to serve, and the differences they made while serving, how significant and how great our country is, and the camaraderie instilled in each branch. I have 5 siblings and I'm the second oldest. When I was 17, I decided that I wanted to join the Marine Corps. I've been in for 2.5 years and I'm currently deployed in Romania. I didn't understand what sacrifice meant until I joined the military. I knew I'd miss holidays, come into work early and stay late, and be with the people I love most for long periods of time. What I didn't realize was how much my family makes sacrifices while I'm away. I'll be missing my second Christmas in a row this year, my first niece's birthday, all my family's birthdays, and watching them grow up. My youngest 2 sisters seem to grow a foot every time I see them. My brother is graduating high school this year, and my sister is a sophomore. My sister Haley and I weren't close before I joined the Marine Corps. The thing is, whenever I get the chance to go home and visit now, she breaks down before.
What are the things you feel like you've given up in order to serve? What do you feel like your sacrifices have been?
You guys,
You sacrifice time with your family?
a lot. Okay, when you're in the service, you give up things that mean the most to you, which is the definition of sacrifice. For me, it's time with loved ones. Another friend of mine named Corporal Amazon went to Afghanistan with CLB-6. She was a motor T driver who went through routes and had to stay on the lookout for improvised explosive devices. In 2014, her truck was blown up by an IED while attempting to rescue another truck that had blown up in front of her. What I'm trying to get at is this. Many veterans have gone through situations that none of us could ever imagine. Firefights, getting blown up, not knowing when the next time you'll be able to see your family, or if you'll make it home, being away for long periods of time, and missing out on big events. I need a break. And watching someone who you respect and trust die right in front of you isn't a reason people join the service. Okay, we know the sacrifices and the danger we can be put in, but what we don't know are the circumstances in which we can successfully make it through. You don't know what sacrifices can be nor will be made when you're in danger, but you have to be able to pull through and remember those things you have sacrificed and put them in action. By signing our contract, we made a promise and a commitment to protect our country and to be a part of something bigger. Some people were drafted or joined during a time of war, fresh out of high school and wanting to challenge themselves and serve their country, had a family tradition, or begged their parents to sign as their guardian. When I joined, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be a better person than I used to be, and I wanted to be the best I could. I didn't know what my real reason was until I went on deployment, and it's this. If not me, then who? My platoon commander sat down with us one day and asked all of us why we joined, and none of us really had a substantial answer. So then he asked us that. I'd rather me be serving my country and keeping people safe than having my younger siblings have to. Being in the service isn't a burden, and I wouldn't ever consider it as one. I've learned and experienced so much in the past 2.5 years that others wish they could in a lifetime. No, it's not always easy, but at the end of the day, it's more than worth it to wear my uniform and proudly say, I'm a Marine. Many veterans in active duty have experienced helping others, whether it's through helping them fight a war, building a school or an orphanage, humanitarian efforts, and more. Serving is about helping others, which all veterans did and still do as civilians. Just last month, a total of 40 Marines, sailors, and Army soldiers joined together and helped refurnish a local orphanage in Romania. I had the opportunity to be a part of this effort. To me, serving isn't just about war or being able to shoot a rifle, but helping others who are less fortunate and having an impact on someone's life. All right. Every day, you wake up for school, get ready, eat breakfast, kiss your parents goodbye, and you have the opportunity to go to school and get an education. You get on a bus, walk to school, or your parents drive you. You don't worry about an IED exploding on your way to school, your town getting invaded with hostile intent, or being held at gunpoint for the religion you believe in. In America, you are free. Free to be what you want, to achieve whatever you put your mind to, and be considered equal to every other American. If you visit any other country, you'll see a significant difference in their way of life and their degree of freedom. In Africa, there are little huts that people live in without air conditioning, heat, windows, doors, and more. Actually, it's like that in a lot of countries. Here in Romania, houses are partially destroyed and in rubble because of the detachment from Russia. In Italy and Spain, old historic buildings are in rubble but still standing from after the attacks they've had within their countries. What I'm trying to get at is this. We are very lucky to live in a country in which we can do many things without having a fear of being imprisoned, ridiculed, or punished. We live in a great country that we should be proud of and not take it for granted. The last thing I want to emphasize to you all is the camaraderie that you develop within a circle of people that you work with. You form a bond, a brother-sisterhood, if you will, because you go through the toughest times together. You trust each other and truly care for one another, and you lay your life down for your brother and sister. When I was a junior Marine, my mentors would have cookouts, bonfires, trips to the beaches, and platoon events that would get us all together and get to know more about each other outside of work. The men and women that I've worked with are like family to me. I inherited even more brothers and sisters than I already had. I believe that cohesion and the more you work together with others will help you in the long run develop friendships, trust, and respect for each other. Being in another country and being away from what you're used to is harder on some people than others. In the past year, I've lost two friends who I started my Marine Corps career with, Lance Corporal Jessica Taylor and Lance Corporal Latricia Janicki. Okay. Every service member should feel like they have someone to go to, even on their darkest days. We are all a family away from our home, and that's what means the most to me about me being in the military. Yorktown Middle School, I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak at your convocation on Veterans Day. I'd like to take a moment to thank all the veterans who've served our country and are here to tell their stories, along with the ones who lost their lives protecting what means the most to all of us. Without all of our veterans and the circumstances they faced, we would not be the United States in which we are today. I'm proud to serve in the footsteps of the service members who came before me and continue to keep our country safe. I want to end with a quote from Elmer Davis, who was a reporter during World War II. "This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave."
When we talk about sacrifice, you had mentioned that you had lost friends in the service, and you think about all of the things that you've sacrificed and all of the things that others have sacrificed. Do you have any regrets at all for being a Marine?
No, I do not.
Are you happy that you signed the dotted line?
I am. Hey, Shay Bischoff. This is your sister, Maddie. I just want to tell you that I love and miss you.